Yo, what's going on, everybody? We are on the radar right now, about to break down this beat for We Set the Trends.
It was on Loud Week. A bunch of artists were in town, and actually Bobby Fischer from Empire, he ended up messaging us and was like, yo, Jim Jones is getting in the studio, and he's working on a Gangsta Grills tape. And like, we were just like, yo, like, we actually have worked before, like, all together at the studio that they were, like, at Empire. There used to be like an old studio there. We got called in to work on the whole tape, basically. Like, we were just like making beats to try to like get as much content as possible, like
cranking them out,
like
cranking them out.
Yeah, we had stuff. I think
the setups,
like, we had like until, like, I think combined of like 9 tracks on that album. Jim just, you know, he's a legend. Like, shout out Jim. They were like, yo, we still need a single. We need a single for the album and stuff, and I ain't
gonna lie, because we had a couple tracks already done at that point, but it was like
we was making good progress.
Nothing was like standing out, slapping us. For
it was all good records, but
they wanted something big. They wanted something triumphant, like something like that. So then we kept thinking about that, and
we started going through melodies. Shout out Manso. We
had worked with a loop maker like a week before that.
Yeah, out in LA.
In like the Internet Money House, and he's just this kid that just was banging out like mad loops. That it was just he just makes some stuff, like very talented kid. And so when it came time for us, like it was there's another producer, Chris. It was the 3 of us, and we were just locked into the B room, just cranking out mad beats as much as possible. And we were just going through like loops and stuff, and the
second we heard it, we knew we wanted to use it, just like off the first second of the loop. We're like,
it was a good feeling off rip. That shit sounded.
I remember actually Takeoff was on his way with Jim, and we weren't even done with the beat yet. Like we were still like halfway through.
Early
wasn't
stages,
even arranged.
Early stages, no arrangement.
Yeah, literally. I remember, and then we got the text that they're coming up. Honestly, like, it's a pretty simple beat, but it was like for us it meant a lot in that moment, because it was a moment. It was the first time actually that the 4 of us actually were actually in the studio together
in that type of setting,
and stuff.
Under pressure.
We used to intern at the studio that we were working at, so we used to work a lot there. We a lot of nights, a lot of things.
I don't even know how old I met him.
I was like 17. I was in high school when I started working there.
Yeah,
so I was just interning all night. And then in the morning, I go to high school, smelling like weed and everything. You know?
I was probably 18, 19, just figuring it out. And these guys were showing me around, man. It was
yeah. We also engineer as well. So we were like taking, a big part of it was that we had turned every single room. We turned the booth, we turned the lobby, we turned everything. We put speakers in each one of the rooms.
Setup on top of
if there was a surface, we were putting something there to record.
We had people all hands on deck.
Yeah, no, we was like, they said that they wanted to get this done in like what was like a matter of like a week and stuff.
Yeah, it was quick.
It was a lot of
really getting.
That's the thing. Originally, this whole project was supposed to be like a week to week, just see what we could do, and it turned out to something way bigger. I ain't gonna lie. So,
yeah.
It goes back, like I mess with it a little. Really with my homies, like in high school, like I had a homie who was rapping and stuff, and like one year I just spent the whole summer with him running around, and I got to see what like a home studio looked like, and I got to see somebody open up Ableton and make a beat, and it was all brand new to me, and I didn't really know what was going on, but I finally got to kind of see, like, music always been a big part of my life, but finally seeing the behind the scenes, how a song is really made, and how it don't take too much than, you know, like a producer and an artist who are real tight, and you can make a whole album together. I thought that was like the coolest shit to me. So after that, I just started really hopping on YouTube University, doing my fucking studies, learning things that, you know what I'm saying? So, and from there, I just got hooked, and I never ain't put it down since.
For me, I actually started, I was making house music. Like,
I definitely was when I met you.
I was making electronic music. I had really looked up to the scene of like electronic music at the time, even like this kind of a couple years back, and there was just like house music and just electronic music was like really like surfacing up, and that's what I was doing. And then New York, I was trying to just get into something related to music, and I ended up interning at a studio, Blast Off, what ended up being Empire now. But the studio, Blast Off Studios, and that's where I mean, that's where I started to pick up everything. Just being around producers, different producers. I met producers in every other genre, different things that they were doing, and I just started to pick up like, just it just becomes fun. It becomes fun to be around people and like to like see what they're working on. Try to be like you just start to add things to what like somebody else is doing. It becomes also like you're like we're the three that we're four. I mean, we're all friends. But that's something that was gained through music. Like that came about through like just cooking up, staying late hours and stuff. And we all have the same kind of like purpose in mind.
It's that same
the same
hustle,
goals
like,
and stuff like that.
Right.
So I feel like we understand each other in that sense, and that kind of bonds us. We kind of live in different states at some points, and like even we just come together and like it's like, yo, how you been, blah blah and stuff. So for me, I mean, that's how I started. Like I was just interning, and eventually I evolved into like every genre, I guess. Like just make,
For me, basically, I've always loved music. I was really into hip hop as a kid, and when I was 14, my mom actually put me in this class at NYU for like youth, and they basically all it did was introduce me to Ableton. And then from there, I pretty much kept looking into Ableton, teaching myself. I took like a class or two, but it didn't really do too much. And I started going into Brooklyn, into the city, to these little studios and like honing my craft. And I started in electronic music as well. So by the time I was like going into my senior year of high school, I found this internship at Takeoff, and I actually when I was going for my interview, they asked how old I was, and I said I was 17 because I just turned 17. And she's like, "Oh, we can't hire you because you got to be 18 to work here and this and that." And then I lied, and I was like, "I'm gonna be 18 in a week though." And she said, "Oh, okay." And then I got hired like that. But then I met Lewis at Takeoff originally, and we bonded because we were both doing electronic music at the time. And then I was working long nights with Kajun too. We all had like the same come up, and then from there I just started evolving, every genre, getting good at that, learning how to deal with vocals too, and just everything.
Yeah, we really our come up for sure has been studio work. Like there's different types of producers, a different type of, but our path has been like
Studio
if you kind of like literally studio rats. At one point I was recording everybody in New York. Like it was just like everybody's first song I would know, like because it was just there's a certain season, like it was just we were around. We would go from one place to another. We would see different. We just hop around.
Studio hopping for sure.
And New York, the New York studios. The cool thing about them is they're all kind of like around each other. They're all like 10 blocks down, 10 blocks this way. Oh, you're over here and stuff like that. And then, like one of the buildings, I think it's like the quad building and stuff like that. That had like six different studios. So it was just like
you can just go up and down the elevator.
Yeah, literally, you just
studio
go
to studio.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
The skills we developed coming up in a studio has made us like we're like in this true sense of the word, a producer, right? We can take the song from the very beginning of it to the very end, talking about the mix, master, like all skills that all three of us have like worked to gain over the years and stuff like that. So I think that's immediately what separates us from other producers. Like we're gonna be able to.
It's like a super important thing to be well-rounded into everything. It's not only just like just getting the beat done and then we just like send it out and stuff. Like we're also the ones like, okay, cool, like we take turns to whoever it is, and it's like, yo, who's available to like, it's like, yo, the beat's done, he's trying to hop on it and stuff, like, yo, he's recording it, we're like trying to move the beat along and stuff, and then by the time then we all sit there. It's good to have people around you in these type of environments, because you end up, sometimes I'll turn and I'll be like, yo, does this sound good? Does this yo, what do you think of this and stuff like that, even if it has to do with vocals, a beat, a decision there. So then what it does is that eventually it gets we're also the ones mixing it, we're also the ones, we've mastered the tracks, we mastered projects and stuff like that, and like plenty of tracks where it's like, even including this one, we saw it go from the moment we put horns on it to the moment that Lil Wayne was on it. Like it was like we saw the full transition of like, yo, we're editing the vocals and stuff like that, and like sending it out. We're even doing the clean mixes to the whole thing and stuff. So
radio mixes. I can't even tell you how many versions we went through of this song.
Yeah,
I don't even know. Like,
literally, like the projects. It was in the 72s, V72 and stuff like that. It's like that right there, having that ability to like take a record and like make the record in the full extent of the word, like that. that would be like the difference for us.
And that makes it so much more satisfying for me too. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know about y'all, but that's like when you
what I be thinking about is like, you know, the Jacobs by Mark Jacobs by Mark Jacobs. Bro, like when I be looking at sometimes the credits and be like, yo,
everything like written by Spike Lee, directed by Spike Lee, produced by Spike Lee.
It's cool sometimes to make a ton of beats and have like a ton of beats, but sometimes making like one or two or just that one beat. This one was the first beat that I played for Takeoff. This one was literally the first one. We made it in the B room. By the time I heard that he was in the A room, I rushed over to grab my laptop and I was telling him to bounce it out. He names it. Like he put like he's like it was like, everybody was like trying to like just get it to me. I think he had texted to me while he airdropped it to me, and we believed in it. So, and that one, it was just something that it was like a quick idea that we were just bouncing out. So, and that ended up being like, yo, like Takeoff went in there, he heard the beat playing, and he was just like, damn.
Yeah, the reaction was on point from the jump. Like,
yeah. So, sometimes it's easy as that. Sometimes it could take longer. Sometimes there's more. This is a pretty simple beat. There's other tracks that we've done. We do a lot of R&B. We've been doing country. We've been doing like different genres and stuff. We spent some time right now in Nashville, and we've just been. Nah, that's instrumental work. Like we've been like I have to pull the guitar out now and stuff, and like doing different things. So like, you know, sometimes it takes a longer time. Sometimes we add into the writing process, different things. Like there's no specific way that we're approaching it. We're just trying to make music.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes it feels like making the beats, making me is like half the work.
Oh, for sure. I say
less than that, bro. I feel like 30-40%.
Music, music done. Now
sometimes we're kind of all making, you know, like we're making beats. We're in like this beat makers are gonna be everywhere, but to put in that work, that get into a studio, my best advice, intern. Find a place. Absolutely. Find a place that you can prove in some way that like you're in a sense your value, your work ethic and stuff like that. That somebody like prove like yo, like you're in this, prove that like that if they got you making coffee, make the best damn coffee, because maybe that person ends up being somebody who gives you a hand and makes a whole big difference. And this is coming from personal experience, like
small shit
where it's like and the network, just meeting people and getting yourself out there. Like he's from LA. Like I've interned before. Like I've interned at Young Thug Studio in LA while interning in Miami as well. Like we've moved around like crazy to just try to like meet somebody and be like, hey, like this is who I am. The more they see your face one time, they see your face a second time, they're gonna wonder who you are. They're gonna wonder why. And sometimes they won't even remember where they met you. They won't even remember that they met you as an intern and stuff like that. But that moment when it comes full circle, when now you get that chance to like prove like, okay, cool, like this is what I do, by the way, this is like I'm a producer and stuff like that. By then you have already like established yourself where it's like, yo, they trust you and they believe in you.
And you're gonna see them again. It's a small industry. You always end up seeing everybody again at some point, no matter where it is.
You're gonna run into somebody.
We started off first with shout out Manso. Started off a melody from Manso. We were looking for like a triumphant type of
stadium
big feel, and we're going through samples and we heard these horns. I think he had been like, yo, hold on, what's that? And I was like, oh, hold on. So I had to come back to it.
Caught my ear.
I think the thing after that, we were looking for like to just start. I think we pretty much all the time we kind of start with the bass sometimes, just to like see how it's gonna, like if it's gonna punch. So
yeah, I found a real good punchy 808 throw in there.
It's three of us, we all use Ableton. So for us it was like we were just bouncing back and forth, trying to like
makes collab real
collab
easy
and stuff like that. Like there was a
So I kind of wanted the 808 to punch a little more. So through, as you can see here, this fatter we got.
Oh yeah, hold on. So let me actually show you that thing right there. Hold on. So when we like laid it down, we put this. I put this R bass on it first, and I usually just keep the intensity about the same, so it just really gives it that punch more
And then sometimes I throw this waves fatter on it too to just make it more like present and in your face.
We record and we use like in Pro Tools as well, so we're used to waves stuff. Like we're just used to like using that in
that's another tip. Get used to plugins that you know is gonna be at every studio you go to. Get used to that.
Yeah. You can also like speak to different people and tell them like, oh, this is what I use. And I mean, it's cool to also have like their own special things that put you apart, but it's also good to like have plugins that you can just be on anybody's laptop and just pull that up and like know what you're doing on them. So, initially I think we had done a snare.
The first pass, I ain't gonna lie, it was
a snare first,
but then we switched that shit up to the clap, and it felt way better. I ain't gonna lie, it definitely did.
The pattern on the clap is basic. I think from there, we initially had like just like a
simple.
He had done like just like a simple going hi-hat, and then he had gone on headphones and he was just like
I going sauced it up a little bit. I did just like little velocity changes and a couple rolls just to give it that little extra.
Need that bounce.
Yeah. Sometimes those little things like that, I guess, create more of the rhythm.
Not for real.
Let me see. I think lastly, I added this just like this open hat thing in the beginning. Kind of going just let me solo it. So I'm gonna shed light on this right now.
But that really gives that first hit more impact. It just adds another transient.
There's a lot of sounds you might not peep at first, but everything comes together. It all got a purpose.
Literally. I mean, honestly, this beat is pretty simple. But I think like I know it's like gonna be like, oh man, like four producers to one track and stuff like that.
Already.
But I think the key thing here is that we making music with the people that you like vibing with, like that you like you fuck with. That's what really makes the difference. Cause like I feel like that's where you make the best product. Then we did and the arrangement, you could talk about that. Like
the arrangement. So this was what we started with. Then once we heard they were about to be there, that's when we started going into the arrangement and stuff. So in the next section, we basically dragged down the same sample onto another track and put a halftime on it, just so
which one? This one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Just so it's not like the same thing. It's not anything crazy, but it just gives the melody some more layering there.
A little variation.
And we also did this dropout in this part too. And Lewis said, I think we need a kick here. So we added a kick. We added a kick on top of the 808. Yeah. And then me and Kajun also said we should also maybe change the clap up here too. And we found this snare-ish clap that we replaced in this part.
Just give it a little different,
just to give it a little more change up, and
that's what I'm saying. Like y'all looking at us like it's a mad simple beat, but the arrangement pieces are so important.
The arrangement,
like just to give the rappers the feel they need. Like
facts.
For like verse type of feel, the typical like just 12 down.
Yeah.
Advice for loop makers as far as like shout out Manso again, like test your loops out. We also make loops too. So test your loops out if when they go up, they go down, how they sound, and if they're easy to just incorporate, because the quicker it is to make a track, sometimes that makes a big difference. Sometimes that's like the speed behind which a producer can just throw that in. A lot of producers also use FL and stuff like that. So it's like if they could just put some drums on it, slap it fast, and then just get that out, like that creates something big.
And also, if you're a loop maker, have some drums laying around that you could throw on just to test it out real quick.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's pretty much it. A little bit on the story of how I feel like we got to take a little moment
absolutely
to like talk about Takeoff. Like Takeoff, man, damn, this is one of the GOATs, man. Like for sure. Like I know that we definitely grew up listening to.
I remember high school the first time hearing the Migos, like going crazy. Like what is this? And I know for all three of us to be able to work with him and be in the same room and cook up was like unbelievable.
It was huge. Like when his workflow was crazy. Like he immediately sat down. He liked the beat. He was like, "Yo, load that up." I remember Darrell sat down there and he was like, "Yo, hold on, let me record him." And he pretty quickly, I think I think the hook was done in like 20 minutes. Like
ain't take nothing more than a couple takes.
I think the whole thing he finished like 30, 40, and they gave us a hit.
He had done. Let me see. Okay. I remember hearing it from the headphones. I remember hearing this part where he was just like,
"We set the trends,"
which is huge because for like, like Jim and Offset, it's definitely like trendsetters. Like they're definitely like. So it was just like once they started with that, like the rest of the the hums and stuff that was coming, it was just like,
"We set the trends."
The minute we heard the hook, we was like, "Oh yeah, we was like, it's good, we good."
A big thing for us too was listening to like the Migos ad-libs getting done.
Yo, the ad-libs, that's
like they did that. Like he did that after he did the main lead. He just hearing the ad-libs just come through and stuff.
That was definitely one of the most memorable moments. Like to watch Migos ad-libs get recorded right in front of you, tough.
Yeah. But and then I mean this one was a pretty simple one, but like afterwards just hearing then the like Wayne, bro, like get on something like that. It was bro like let me see.
I got the heat with me. I got a temp setter. I got a sunsetter. Yeah, that's the bummer.
I couldn't even believe when I heard that shit. I couldn't even believe.
And he walked on it too. Nah,
walked on that shit. Yo.
Sometimes don't go too hard making a beat like putting too many things on it, too many leads and stuff. Sometimes simplicity is the key. Allows an artist to just flow on it.
That space.
Just do their thing on it and stuff, and it makes a huge difference. And I mean, just crank the bass up. And
it's dirty.
Yeah.
Man, hell yeah.
That's pretty much.
That's what set the trends right there. Yep. You see my boy in the back right here. I'm always when I'm not working on my own stuff or working on stuff with these guys, I'm working on his shit right here. So my boy Fergie, baby, we got a bunch of stuff coming for you. I'm excited for the top of next year. You feel me? Welcome to Scoundrel Valley. That's all I gotta say.
Fire.